Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman Bergeron here on Humanity Healing. Blessings to each of you as I come in to join with you and share a message that I usually don't work on until the morning of my talk. When I awaken and appreciate the fact that I am awakening in this physical body once again. Many of us don't take time to do that. And it's really about being grateful for life and how we can share with each other in this way, uh, even though it's not a very intimate way to share with each other. And that's part of my talk this morning, which is about healing and gratefulness. And in this world today, we are now looking at a severe situation around the world where gratefulness is not being upheld. What we're being forced, and I will use the word forced, to look at is distortion. We're being forced to look at anger, frustration, uh, sadness, pain, suffering. And good morning, Victoria. And it doesn't matter in what direction we look, but it's there. It's there in the environment, it's there in our human relationships. And slowly, what we're doing now is beginning to recognize the effect that it has on us. And it's not just a few people anymore that this is happening to, it's millions of people. And it doesn't matter whether you're having a war in your country, or whether you're having a lack of water in your country, or whether you're having a political nightmare in your country. You see, all of those are different aspects of how humanity can not fulfill its purpose of being kind and compassionate with each other. Yet, what happens is we individually are all affected by it. And this is a greater disease than even COVID. And I say that because we can look at diseases as, oh, it's a bacteria or it's a whatever. And we can understand, well, that's something that is attacking us from outside. But really, what's transpiring when all of that is done is we're attacking ourselves from inside. And I've been going through this. Last week I wasn't here because I have a sleep problem and I just couldn't get up to be here. And that really upset me. It really bothered me that I had to surrender to what was going on in my body rather than what my heart wanted. And so all of this is really a period of learning many new things as to how we can embrace each other and how we can shift the energy within us from within us, not outside of us. And when we look at what we just went through with this pandemic and everything around it, you realize that everything came from outside of us. And it came into us and it created hell inside of us. And then we put more stuff in us to try to correct that, and that created hell inside of us and many more. While it had some beneficial effect, the long-term effect of that is horrendous. And we know that the world has changed in these past 2 years of this viral infection. The world has changed dramatically. It is not the same world that it was. And I don't think there's any particular aspect that outstands one more than another, other than the anger, on the frustration, on the hatred that is arising around the world. And so I look at that as a disease. I look at that as a disease. And as I awoke this morning, I always awake grateful because of my near death experience. I technically, according to medical things, I shouldn't be here. I had died 30 years ago. And yet I'm here, and I'm here for this moment in time for humanity. And many of you are as well. And many of you are beginning to understand that at a deeper level within yourself. You are feeling that you have a responsibility somewhere and you're not quite sure what that might be. And so today's message is gratefulness and healing. It begins with gratefulness. And when you look at what you're grateful for and how many times you feel grateful, I want you to just pause and think about that. Or are you always busy struggling, trying to fix something or create something or balance something? Or is your energy being expended on things that have nothing to do with gratefulness? And the next step is, does your energy, is your energy spent on things that don't have anything to do with healing? And right now, this is where we should be. We should not be arguing about people who are talking nonsense out of their leadership roles, people who are talking about judgment and discrimination and attacking people who have nothing and trying to get something better for themselves. In a world where we have a price range that has quantified itself in the past 6 months, where the cost of living for the average person is putting them into poverty. This is while at the same point you have politicians who are spending millions of dollars to get elected. This is a problem that is not theirs. They're creating their own problem and they're creating problems for us. Our problem is, how do we find a place within ourselves to be grateful? What are we grateful for? What are the benefits of being alive in this moment of change, the whole change of humanity, the whole change of the earth? This is a very active time, energetically, emotionally, and it's going to be life-changing for future generations who are now being born, who are now coming in with an ability and an intelligence that is unbelievable for me to communicate with 5 and 6-year-olds as an adult. I don't talk in little kiddie language. Yes, we play, and that's good, but I can have a conversation with them about something. especially something that they're involved in, that lights their system up, be it stars, be it dinosaurs, be it building buildings and structures. I'm talking about 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds have this ability to communicate with us at an adult level if we allow them to do it. What is that all about? That's about respecting children, not telling children they can't say this, they can't read that, they can't do this. That's what we lived through. I'm 73 years old. That's what I lived through. And so it's within us. Thank you, Mary, for saying it's within us. This within us is, how do we take care of us before we look outside for help? You see, we've been entrained to believe that we can't heal ourselves. The old days, the doctor would say, take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning. Whatever. They didn't have all of this knowledge of our system, but they knew that there were certain basic things that you needed. You needed vitamins. You needed good food. You needed clean water. You needed a clean environment. If you look at the world today, how many of those things have changed? So you see, what's happening here is we have slowly been, I'm trying to think of the word I want to use. We have been, I'm going to say confused into believing that somebody else knows what's best for us. And we've believed it. And we've been sold it on this television and now on computers, and we're sold it and it's programmed in our head. I remember the day when, smoking does this, and all of this, all and the drinking and the alcohol, and this is good for you, and that's good for you. And how many of these things that life is good if you smoke L&Ms or whatever. That wasn't true. We were lied to. We were lied to in order for people to profit. Money was more important than humanity. Money was more important, and power was more important. And it still is. So gratefulness, the act of gratefulness, is coming back into yourself and learning to say, I want to be happy. I want to be well. I'm not here to change out there. I need to change in here, inside. And only I can do that. I can go to the doctor and I can get a prescription and I can go do this and I can go to the gym and do that, tap somebody's. And everybody else is telling me what to do. But where is my responsibility? Is my responsibility to follow everybody? Or is my responsibility really to be my own leader? How do I come back to that leadership within me that knows that when I have 8 cups of coffee, I'm not doing myself a favor. When I get behind the driver wheel drunk, I'm not doing myself a favor. These things are not good for me. I know that, but why don't I stop? We don't stop because we have a world that's pushing it down our throats. We have a world that's saying, you need this to fix that, and this and that and the other. And it goes on and on and on. And the only purpose of any of that is really not your health or welfare. It's dollars, it's profit. So that not the people that are working to make those products are getting wealthy, but the people who are overlording them as the executives can create more money and more money and more money, and then buy their way into powerful seats in the government by giving all that money that they took from us to get elected to get more money from everybody else. Take a deep breath. Relax. You all know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You all know this. And even if you're the ones at the top and who are listening to me, you know this. The time now is, are you grateful? Does it make you grateful? Or does it heal you? Money doesn't heal us. And money doesn't make us grateful. I know, I had lots of money at one time in my life. I ended up bankrupt and homeless. I'm happier now than I was then. Sure, I had all brand new cars, had all that stuff, all that bling. Could go anywhere, do anything I wanted. But there was an emptiness in me. I was doing it to try and find joy within myself. And I didn't have that. So this is where we are. The physical and social world in which we're living is changing shape. It's changing shape, form, it's changing understanding. All of us are somewhat destabilizing our ability to feel grateful. Now, I know many of you feel grateful when it's a nice, bright, sunny day and you can go on your walk or go to the beach or whatever. Now, that's a part of grateful. But am I grateful for me? Am I grateful for me? Our focus is always being directed right now toward negative issues. And you look around the world, look at the news, look at whatever information from this flat screen where I can't touch you, I can't hear you, I can't, relate to you at a energetic level, a human energetic level. I have to do it through zeros and ones. Our world has changed to this, and this has destabilized our ability to feel grateful. That's a powerful statement. That's what came to me this morning. That all of this wonder, all of these amazing magical things that we deal with, which have enhanced our lives in many ways, have actually destabilized our ability to feel grateful. We may feel grateful for a moment, but it's all about achieving or receiving something, but not us giving anything, or not us being real with each other. It's wonderful to send each other hearts and comments and praise each other. And thankfully we can do that. But what surrounds that is a darkness that is destroying who we are inside. And that destruction is our gratefulness. We want more. We're angry. We're frustrated. It causes confusion. Most older people don't know how to use a lot of these. Don't know how to use these computers and things. They're just not interested, and it means nothing to them. They live in their own quiet little worlds, but they still have an integrity that was part of the old way of living. Right now, integrity is at a loss. And I'm not trying to be a downer here today, and I'm just looking at all of us and saying, what can I bring through to help others realize that they are more and they have more to be than they understand, and how do they achieve that? And that was my word this morning, was grateful. I'm grateful for being here. In spite of all the things that are wrong with me physically now at this point in my life. Not that they're major, and I mean they are for some people. They wouldn't be able to deal with it, but I'm beyond that, because I know that there's life beyond this physical body, and I'll enter that when I leave this body. So I'm not worried about where I'm going or what I'm doing. But this focus on negative energy, this focus is draining us. Stress, grief, and fear. It looks like I'm pausing somewhere here, but that's okay. Bear with me, I'm still here. It's stress, grief, and fear. Those are the three words that somehow were chosen for me to be the topic behind all of this. They're not a source of amusement. They create shockwaves within our neural network. Each individually and separately threaten our physical and psychological well-being. Stress, grief, fear. I just picked three words. There's more, but I think those are the probably top three for me anyway, that I've recognized over the past couple of years. That what am I always trying to get rid of? Or what am I always trying to shift or enlighten or something? It's those three words: stress, grief, and fear. And I'm not going to put one over the other, because they're sort of a triad that they work together. In that process, any one of them can show up in the front view, but the others are all attached. So they're creating an imbalance in our neurological system as well as our psychological system. Doesn't matter how they get there. It doesn't matter who put them there. The problem is they get there. And what do we do? What can we do? You go to the doctors, they give you medicine. You go to the psychiatrist, they give you a talk. These are things that are normal practice that we've been taught will help you. Yet, what I'm finding is, in all of the things that I've been through in the past 2 years, did they help me? They helped me understand that they can't help me. They can help one little piece, So my shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. Or I, don't have neuropathy in my leg, but my feet still freeze. I still sweat and not sleep at night. None of these are really the solutions to what we are feeling physically and emotionally. The solution is to come back into ourselves and say, what am I thankful for? What do I feel grateful for? What is positive in my life that I can go to every time, and every time I embrace that thought or that place or whatever, I feel grateful. I feel full. See, gratitude is a fullness. It's about being alive. It's feeling that life energy in us. And the world is taking it away from us every day. Little piece here, little piece there. And it's done so subtly that we're not consciously aware of it. So it's like a roller coaster road. We go through this fear and this imbalance. And while we sometimes seek that thrill, it's fun for a moment because we know it's going to end at the end of the roller coaster ride. There's no end to this roller coaster. It's just going and going and going and going. And we are hoping that there's going to be an end to this. I don't see, I just keep seeing them making the roller coaster ride higher and longer. Who are they? Doesn't matter who they are. That's the infamous question. Who are they? It's people who are not feeling grateful. They're greedy and they want more. They're power hungry and they don't care who they hurt in order to gain that power. They are selfish, self-centered human beings that don't have gratitude for all that they have, which is the power over everyone else. That's what they wanted. They've got it, and they're still not happy. I'm just going to be silent for a moment. So, distress, grief, and fear are not a source of amusement like a roller coaster ride. They actually create shock waves within our neural network. And our neural network is not just here in our head, it goes all through our body. So every organ and every muscle and everything that reacts from a neural impulse is affected. I'm not a doctor. You can read about this in thousands of writings, but this is what the message is. Everything is neurally charged. And when we're in a state of confusion, the electromagnetic field in our neurological system is at a charge which is sort of shocking and jolting. Whereas we're in a state of gratitude, it is very like a wave, small wave. There's no sharp edges. And my guides are saying this. I don't study this. And it's that sharpness, that static flow that is destroying us. Now we can blame 1,000 things for it. The problem isn't so much where is it coming from. The problem is what are we not doing about it? And it's not about doing something about it outside of us. What are we not doing about it inside? What do we have control over inside our physical bodies? Because if you remember, we have human beings who were designed to take care of our physical body in order to be able to walk and talk and live here. We didn't need machines. Thousands of years ago, they needed food, they needed shelter. Today, what's different? You need food, you need shelter. Period. You need water. No water, no life. And this is becoming an issue if you look around the world, and we're seeing droughts and we're seeing floods, and the earth is shifting, and some places are low levels than they've been for thousands of years. And then other places are being flooded in a very strange pattern where they've never been flooded before. We can ask ourselves what's causing that. And we can come up with 1,000 different reasons. The issue isn't about that. The issue is about we need to start focusing on us. Because if we keep focusing on all of that, we won't survive it. We have to come back into ourselves and what can I do? How can I create more gratitude in my life? How can I create more thankfulness in my life? Because that is my life-saving energy. So I'm not going to belabor this much more, but I just want you to come online within your own mind and recognize that all of the things that separately threaten our physical and psychological well-being also threaten everyone we encounter. It's all in their neural network. And there are things we can do to ease that stress. And that's to seek gratefulness. I never thought about seeking gratefulness until this morning. And when I started looking about this, there's a lot of information of gratitude exercises. I never knew that. And maybe you know more than I do, so bless you all for that. I'm just learning and I'm just sharing. Gratitude exercises. How do we restore gratitude, the feeling of gratitude? How do we refocus on the inner self? Not the one that pushes the buttons, opens the doors, drives the car. The real us. The real us behind all of these facades that we show up as. When I come here on these Friday mornings, this is me. This is the real me. I'm not making this up. I get out of bed and I ask, what am I going to talk about today? And I get a message and then I go researching and trying to put it in words. You give me the opportunity to seek and find what I need. It isn't about you need me any more than I need you. And it isn't about needing, it's about sharing. How do we share our wisdom with each other so that we all benefit, not just a few make a profit in dollars? It's all about, that's all you hear about. It's dollars, money, 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 money. And if money made us happy, it failed. It's failed. So let's look inside. What makes us happy, what truly makes us happy, is gratitude. So we need to refocus on the inner self, which is in crisis. And it doesn't matter how it's showing up or where it's showing up, it's all connected to our neural network. It's like the internet. It's like the internet in our body. It's all connected. So I encourage people to think about how often you feel grateful or not, and to just sit with that and look at it, and know that if you're not feeling great, if you're feeling not grateful more than grateful, then you're at a place of imbalance. And to find things that make you feel grateful. Nature, I always talk about nature and sitting in nature, because nature does not create its horror show. We do. Mother Earth existed before we did. And so it's we who have created the distortion here. Just like it's we who have created the distortion within ourselves. So I encourage people to look up gratitude exercises. And I found a whole bunch of them that, different people are, again, this is not uncommon, and maybe some of you teach that, and bless you. And if you do, please, I encourage you to make it more well known, your gift of that, because so many people need it. All of us need it. It doesn't matter. I need it. I'm not greater than anybody else. So if you're tired of that emotional roller coaster, remember that it begins externally. It's not you doing this to yourself. You don't want to punish yourself. Your heart doesn't want you to suffer. Your brain may want you to suffer based on what it's had to process, but your heart always loved you. Your heart wants to pump that blood through your system so that you live. If it has any intention at all, if it has any mind of its own, it wants you to keep breathing. It wants you to be a human. It wants you to find gratitude and share gratitude. A roller coaster ride is fun for a few minutes, but to be on that roller coaster and up the hills getting higher and strange curves, it's not, after a while it gets old. And I think that's where most of us are. It's getting old. So we can shift that. There are ways. There's teachings out there. But this is what it is. When your neural system falls apart, it'll show up in a variety of ways. Most of them creating pain and suffering and illness. I love you all. I thank you all. It's always a joy for me to come and talk here. because I hear myself as well. I am you. You are me. We are unity. One heart, one love, one light, one peace, one. I guess I can imagine if they put every human together, all 8 billion of us, I don't know what kind of a being we would be. But I just imagine like all the cells in my body. What if they were all little people inside of us? We need to take care of them. Imagine. Make yourself silly. Imagine. Imagine what life would be if you felt more gratitude every day. And know that gratitude comes from you loving you, loving me, and loving each other. Bless you all. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you hopefully next Friday. I might have to switch some days around in the future. I have a busy sort of fall calendar with blessings and ceremonies and stuff, but we'll try to let you know in advance. And anyway, it's always posted here on Humanity Healing. The videos are always here, and so you can always reach them. Bless you all. Wherever you are, whatever you do, learn to love yourself. Have a great week. Have a great month. We're in September. The shifting energies. Be well.